Hey, 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 what's up, fam? I'm back. It's Tuesdays with Tawana. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on through. Come in the building. Come in the building. I've missed y'all so much. It is just ridiculous. 2 months without engaging with all of you. For those of you who are joining for the first time, welcome to Tuesdays with Tawana, where we build community one episode at a time. We have been doing this for several years now. Took a summer break, took a writing break, still writing my dissertation, still finishing up chapter 4, analyzing data. Ain't no joke. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. How about that? But I'm so grateful to be here on this day. Let me just share this to my page, and then we are going to chop it up because it's been a minute. So, for those who are here for the first time, if you make a comment, I will insert that comment into this narrative. You can just sit and chill and just enjoy the dialogue going on. You can say what's up and I'll shout you out. And sometimes people just want to chill and, you know, receive all of the black woman mysticism and black girl magic that is about to happen in this space. So listen, let's get started. I'm so grateful to be here. It's been a minute, and this journey has definitely been an isolating journey, a very long journey. So for today, as we kick off this new season, we're going to just talk about some general things. We're going to talk about some updates with my health. We're going to talk about some updates with what's going on in the world. We are going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. You holla at me in the comments. We'll be happy to talk about it. But in the end, we're going to just breathe. We're going to breathe together on today because shit is crazy out here in these streets, right? It's just a lot going on. So if I start naming stuff, we'll probably be here for the full half an hour, right? We got craziness going on in Texas. We still are in the midst of this COVID-19 pandemic. We are dealing with hurricanes and tornadoes from the south to the northeast, dealing with health challenges, dealing with the lack of health care and for black folk, for black women. Y'all know I'm a breast cancer survivor, a metastatic breast cancer survivor, and I am so grateful for my village and for my tribe who continues to support me, continues to surround me, continues to love on me and pray for me. So let's start there as we begin to breathe together. Breathing is not only a form of life because it gives us life. It gives us an opportunity to exchange love and life with the world, with one another, because we need one another as we breathe. The trees need us as we breathe. So, as we breathe together during this time of lament, during this time of grief, we just lost another great, too young, too soon, 54 years young, from Brooklyn. um, Homeboy Michael K. Williams, we speak your name as an ancestor. It is so beautiful to see all the tributes and stuff go up for him. So grateful, so grateful to see the loving words that are being shared. And I hope that those loving words were shared with him. And I believe they were while he was here because he just incited that type of loving energy. So we definitely pause and breathe for all of us who are grieving. And we know grieving is a form of love. We usually grieve when we have lost someone or something that we love. And to be quite, this in this space, we're open, we're honest, we holler at each other, we talk about different things. what I do want to talk about in this grieving process, over the last couple of months, it's been a little rough for me. Um, Being on this healing journey, we know that healing ain't easy, right? Healing ain't easy, and it definitely ain't easy for this woman right here on this healing journey from metastatic breast cancer, still in active treatment every 3 weeks. And about a month or two ago, time goes so fast. So I think it was about maybe about 2 months ago, had some challenges going on. But thank God, all of the test results and everything showed that I still am in good relationship with Ned. No evidence of disease. I still have to be in active treatment, but I'm grateful that the treatment is working. The test did find that I have scar tissue that's causing me this discomfort and this pain that I have been feeling. And I also have a fractured rib. Who does that? How does that happen? This one right here. I don't understand. But what we're thinking is the radiation. Radiation is very, very strong and very powerful. Yeah, for some reason I'm not seeing the comments, beloved, but it's been a while since I've been on, so please forgive me if I'm not shouting you out right now, because I am looking at Facebook and I'm seeing that there are comments there. So I'm going to try to navigate both, so I could bring you into this space. So I can bring you into this space. Yeah, I see Cordio is in the building. My brother Larry's in the building. Tony is here. Tamika is here. I love all of y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with me during this time. But as I was saying, radiation is nothing to play with. So they think that the radiation may have caused a fractured rib. So I've been walking around with a fractured rib for quite some time. And I'm going to take care of myself and keep doing what I'm doing. I still have to exercise. Exercise is an important part of our health and our well-being, especially in COVID when a lot of us are sedentary. We got to move our bodies 30 minutes a day, at least 30 minutes a day. Go for a walk, jump up and down, use some equipment in your home, walk around your apartment, your house, your backyard, whatever, your community, to stay healthy. So I have a fractured rib, some scar tissue, and it's annoying. It's annoying and it's causing some pain. But the beauty in all of this is my doctors. Oftentimes the medical field does not, and this is just an overall statement. This doesn't mean every doctor or every nurse or every provider does this. But oftentimes we find that doctors don't understand Black women's pain, and they don't care for our pain in ways that they would for others. So we tend to experience more pain than other groups. And my doctors, the first thing that they said to me was, what can we do to manage your pain? And just know that whatever we do in the beginning to manage your pain, that there's always something greater, always something more, and we can manage it accordingly without causing harm to yourself or becoming addicted or whatever the case might be. And I was very happy to hear that. Like, these doctors and nurses actually cared about my pain because that doesn't happen often enough. So in this grieving, as we bring this back full circle, in this grieving process, I'm grieving the loss of my health. My health is just not, and this has been going on for almost 5 years now, right? And the other day it just hit me like, yo, unless, of course, God is in control, bottom line, full stop, right? And unless something changes in the universe that where I don't have to be in treatment every 3 weeks or I don't have to take chemotherapy, I will be in chemo treatments indefinitely. I don't say for the rest of my life. Right now it's indefinitely. We just don't have a definitive stop. right? We don't have that right now. And I'm hoping that with all of the research that they're doing, that at some point in time, there will be a full stop to this treatment. Because treatment, as my friend Rochelle would say, sometimes the treatment seems to be worse than the cancer itself because of all of the side effects. The side effects can be very grueling. I'm very fatigued, chemo brain or chemo fog, neuropathy, which is pain and tingling or numbness in your hands and your feet, body aches, bone aches, joint aches, so on, and the list goes on and on and on. So grieving that was really rough for me during the last couple of months, really just coming to the realization like this is my life. My social life sucks. Right? Let me just say that. My social life sucks. Um, my social life, I can't be around a lot of people. I have to, continue to wear my mask, as we all should, because we are still in the midst of this pandemic. I am vaccinated. I am receiving my booster shot on Thursday or tomorrow, one of these days. So I do what I do to try to care for myself, but that doesn't mean that I can just go out and party and be around people and hugging. I was at an event this weekend and, people wanted to hug. And I was just like, whoa, had to kind of give the football stiff arm, right? Like, whoa, can't hug. Because if I hug that person already hugged the 20 people that were in the room. Or I would then have to hug, not have to, but would hug 20 people in the room. So instead of picking and choosing, are you vaccinated, going through all of that, it's just no hugs. No hugs, because my immune system is compromised, and I have to know that and honor that and respect that. Hey Pam, so I'm looking at the comments on my iPad because for some reason I can't see your comments on my screen. Bobby is in the building. Thank you. Good to be back. Julie, good to see you. It's good to be back in the building. Um, my brother Larry, Tamika is saying that oh, yeah, she's had that experience with doctors regarding her pain. Um, and we got to advocate for ourselves, right? We talk about that a lot in this moment, in this communal moment, where we learn to advocate for ourselves. We learn the language so that we can advocate for ourselves, because no one is going to do it for us. We have to do it. We have to speak up and speak out. Bring people with us to the doctor's appointment, so that if you're not in a space to advocate for yourself, you have your partner, your friend, your ride or die with you to advocate for you. Because we got to know what it is that we need in order to tell folk how to meet our needs. And we got to teach folk how to love on us, right? So we got to know what it is to love ourselves, to teach others how to make that happen. So all of that was happening while I was gone. While I was gone, all of that was happening. And um, the grieving process, it hit home. It hit home. And then to um, it became increasingly challenging because we're losing so many people to um, whether it's COVID or cancer or unexpected illness. We're losing young activists, we're losing actors, we're losing family members, we're losing parents where, 65 is young. And to lose a parent, at that age, I lost my parents. I was not only young, but my parents were both young. My mom was in her 50s and my dad was in his 60s. So losing all of these folk around you, but I want to encourage you today, as I had to do for myself through prayer and meditation and journaling. I had to stop for a moment and begin to look at what's left and begin to honor what's left. Begin to look at the blessings in the what's left, right? So I may have lost my ability to commune with large groups of people or to just travel across the country when I feel like it. But I do have an opportunity to recreate what those relationships look like. It may not, I do have to make a change. It may not be what it was before, but it definitely doesn't have to remain this way. I have the power to make a change so that I can take care of myself, but I can also love on my family, my children, my grandchild, my siblings, and my community. And, originally, I took 2 months off from Tuesdays with Tawana, July and August. And I knew I was coming back in September, but I was coming back in December under the guise that I would be finished writing my dissertation. And chemo brain just won't let me be great. Y'all saw some of my posts where chemo brain just won't let me be great. But you know what? It's not up to chemo brain because chemo brain does not have the power. So if I have to switch this joint up a little bit and take it a little slower and reread something more than once and make it happen, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it happen. We don't have to receive or succumb to the ills that are happening around us. We have the power to make that change and to shift the atmosphere and to do what we need to do. Hey, Brother Donald, what's going on? Good to see you. We have the power to make that change and not sit in the grief, if you will, not sit in the loss or focus on the loss. And again, I say this all the time, what we focus on expands. So if yes, I cried. Yes, I wailed. Yes, I prayed. Yes, I lamented. Yes, I listened to some music. Yes, I did some journaling. Yes, I did some meditation. All of that to feed my soul. All of that. I talked to some friends, talked to some family members so I can talk about it and get it out of my head, get it out of my spirit so that we can commune spirit to spirit together and continue on this healing process and not stay stuck on what we don't have or what we can't do or what we are, blocked to do. So in this grieving process, I did a lot of breathing, a lot of breath work, a lot of trauma informed breath work, a lot of healing breath work, a lot of reflecting breath work. What is making me so sad or what was bringing me down, and really naming those things, because when we name those things we are able to acknowledge those things, and once we acknowledge those things we are able to then remedy those things. If we don't acknowledge it, then we won't know how to remedy it. We won't know how to love ourselves through it. We won't know how to fix the challenge. And some things may not be fixable, like I am diagnosed with cancer, period, full stop. But that does not mean that I am my diagnosis. It does not mean that I have to live by my diagnosis. It means that I need to love myself and care for myself and be very mindful and very careful. But it doesn't mean I stop living at all. It does not mean I stop living. Hey, Angela. Good to see you, Reverend. Thank you for joining. Tanisha said the race isn't given to the swift. The timing is not the issue. Absolutely. It's about this marathon and not a sprint. It's about community, because healing happens in community. We talk about this also all the time on these broadcasts. We talk about, you know, healing in community is about energy. It's about spirit work. It's about trust. It's about relationship. It's about sharing stories. It's about taking those stories and bringing those stories alive and passing those stories down to our loved ones and our beloveds across the spectrum, or those coming behind us, listening to those before us. That's what building healing in community and building community is all about. So in doing this breath work that I had to do, I realized how much I missed community and how much I wanted to come back to be with you on Tuesdays with Tawana. This is a very selfish moment for me because I want to rock with y'all. I want to talk with you. I want to know what's going on in your world. I want to talk about things that's going on in my world. I want us to be able to heal and grow and manifest shit together. I want us to make that happen and not succumb to the ills of the world, not succumb to the nonsense that is going on, not succumb to the fact that they finally called for a grand jury in Elijah McClain's death, but they knew about it, say, a week or two before, and before the public knew. In this day and age of information, to me, what are you waiting for? Families and friends and community, we have already grieved for 2 years. And you're going to wait another 2 weeks before you make this announcement? And then you wonder why. I think that there's some ulterior motives. Everyone has motives, right? We all have motives to do something, to motives behind what we do. But when they're ulterior, when they're underneath, when they're hidden, that's when it's a problem. When you don't share the real reason as to why you're doing what you're doing. By the way, can we arrest the killers of Breonna Taylor? I'm just saying. So with that, breathing, did a lot of breath work for healing, but then I realized that something was missing. I realized that my community was missing, and my community gives me life. You. Each one of you that rock with me on Tuesdays, you give me life. You speak life into me and around me and hold my arms up when I'm tired. When I call for prayer, y'all pray. When I call out for, I need some encouragement, I'm writing and I'm stuck, y'all do that. I see the hearts. I'm loving it. Y'all do that. And I want to be able to do the same for you. And if this is the vehicle in which to do it, then this is how we're going to rock. This is how we're going to make it happen. So when we do this Facebook Live, or whether it's a podcast or broadcasting on IG or YouTube or whatever, we are building community, and you are a part of it. You are a part of it. You are healing with me. I am at a point with metastatic breast cancer where it'll make 5 years. Do you know what that really means, beloved? Do you know that not many people make it to 5 years? Or the 5-year mark is one of the scariest milestones that you could make, because many people don't make it to 5 years. And here we are completing year number 5, moving into turn number 6. Why and how? Because we do this together in community, and we speak life, and we don't let these numbers and statistics and society and racism and sexism and judgment and all of that impede our growth and our living. When it's my time, it's going to be my time. Because we all know that we're going to leave this place one way, shape, or form at some point in time. But Lord knows, don't take me out of here sooner than I need to go, than I am assigned to go. So that's why we come together as community. This is why we have the power. And let me just talk about power before we begin to wind this up. So I was, hey brother, wow, Jason is on. I love you. Thank you. Yes, I'm a fighter because you're a fighter. Yes, we're going to keep fighting together. So one of the things that I was thinking about with in terms of our power, there have been, we know what's going on in Texas, from voter suppression to reproductive injustice to just inhumane behavior. Not wearing masks, not doing mask mandates. We have shifted the atmosphere in so many different places and so many different times. They got that grand jury indictment in Aurora because of the fight, because of people like Lindsay Minter and others who kept fighting, who kept staying in, Jeff Fard and others who stayed in the face of the Attorney General to make it happen. In New York, things are being passed there to protect us, and whether we agree or not, things are happening to protect us so that we might live and not die at the hands of systemic ills. So my hope is that we come together and we understand how powerful we are. We understand how our voice and our mere presence just shifts the atmosphere. Our coming together magnifies those voices, magnifies our presence. And then without saying, I demand, we demand justice just by our mere existence, right? We demand these laws and all of this to be changed just through our mere existence, showing up, speaking up, writing op-eds, writing an article, supporting black businesses, being out in the streets if you can. I wish I could be out in the streets when they had the big rally out in DC about voter suppression. I wish. Those who are able, go. Those who are not able, again, we're not going to let these systemic ills stop us from doing what we need to do. We're going to find creative ways to live and not die at the hands of oppression and marginalization and racism. We are going to find different ways in our own, how we can do it in our own way, right? Because not all of us can do it the same way, but if we hit them at different angles, they're going to respond, because that's just how powerful we are, beloveds. It's just how powerful we are. So I'm here because of that power. I am here because of beloveds who are journeying with me. I am here when I get those calls and those messages about someone else being, another black woman being diagnosed with breast cancer. And as Reverend Tammy Denise says, the needle has not moved since she was diagnosed 16, 17 years ago. We are still dying at disproportionate rates than white women. Although our rate of diagnosis has decreased, we are still dying at exponential rates, and that should not be happening. Should not be happening. So we got to continue to speak up. Our domestic violence rates, y'all know how it's about to go down in October. Y'all know what Tuesdays with Tawana is going to look like in October. It's going to be a both and. It's not going to be a either or. We're going to talk about breast cancer and we're going to talk about domestic violence. Because domestic violence, the numbers are just increasing because of COVID, because people are frustrated. And I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated being in this house all the time and picking and choosing when I go to the supermarket, or when can I go out to pick up my prescription, and what, and taking care of myself. I can't just go out willy-nilly and be like, oh, I'm just going to go pick up this one thing. I got to be very strategic so that I don't expose myself to those who are not vaccinated and don't want to wear a mask. I'm not shaming those who may not be able to be vaccinated. That's not for me to judge. But what I will say is that if you're not going to get vaccinated, then you need to take the proper precautions to protect me, damn it. To protect everybody else that may have, low a compromised immune system, or may have underlying diseases, or hell, someone who's just healthy don't want COVID. And I definitely don't want it from somebody that's not being vaccinated and not wearing a mask and not washing their hands and just coming out and doing whatever and then giving somebody else COVID because they were asymptomatic. We got to do better. When we know better, we do better. That's pretty much a paraphrase of what our beloved ancestor Maya Angelou taught us. When we know better, we got to do better. So I did better. I came back to Tuesdays with Tawana to rock with y'all on Tuesdays. And I'm going to get this comment thing all together because, I love, this is not about me just talking. I love to insert other voices in the narrative. Tanisha says, we slaying for cancer and domestic violence all October. Yes, listen. If y'all friends with me on Facebook, just go to one of my posts and you'll see me and my cousin Alex for her 50th birthday. Happy birthday, Alex. That Tanisha Alexander she slayed her makeup. And I'm not one to do makeup. And if I am, I'm going to Tony. Because Alex just her natural beauty was enhanced. So, y'all don't forget to hit up Tanisha Alexander on Facebook. And Tony, if you put your website and stuff in the comments, everybody will get a chance to see it. Um, Bobby said, love you, my sister. Never forget. Oh, never forget what you did for me and my family. Little things are important. I love you. Love you to life. Whew. Let's breathe. Let's breathe together as we remember those that have gone, as we think about the layers of trauma in our lives and how we can heal from that trauma. Let's breathe through our diagnosis so we can continue to press forward as healthy as we can, eating differently, exercising, taking care of your spirit and your soul through prayer, meditation, journaling, sitting still, breathing, whatever it is. I encourage you today. Grieving is a beautiful thing. It doesn't have to be, it hurts. It hurts. But sometimes you gotta hurt in order to grow, right? Jill Scott says that in one of her songs. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta go through growing pains. So I invite you to breathe through these very trying times. I invite you to breathe. And when you breathe, there's a healing piece of breath work that I learned, and we're going to close. When you breathe in, you think about a particular person and you speak their ill or ailment or whatever they're going through. And when you breathe out, you send that person love and light and or healing, whatever it is that is on your heart to send to that person. So when you breathe in, you may think of Tawana's diagnosis. And when you breathe out, you are sending me love, light, healing, provision, protection, whatever it is. And I do that for many of you on this live today in the morning. Take a deep breath in and you acknowledge that which is causing us pain or havoc or disrupting our peace. And then when we breathe out, we release it and we send love and light. So I send love and light to you as we just breathe in each and every moment, whether we're celebrating, we're grieving, or anything in between, disappointed, frustrated, whatever it might be. Breathe and know that someone is breathing with you, someone is receiving that, and someone is giving it right back to you. I love you, beloveds. I thank you for joining me. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for coming on to Tuesdays with Tawana. I love you to the moon and beyond. And I will see you next Tuesday where we're going to rock together and we're going to heal one episode and build community. Not only heal, but build community one episode at a time. I love y'all. Peace.